Ooh, the sad and ugly fate of Lady Elton. Um, Lucio offers to, like, they say, oh, can you sing? Would you sing for us? And so he sings a song, a very odd song about a lover, you know, basically saying he's going to kill the woman he loves, his mistress, you know, so that, you know, basically they be together always in hell. Um, and he finishes the song, and Lady Elton is looking at him and just like, where did you get that song? How do you know that song? And she calls him over. He goes over there. Everybody else is chatting amongst themselves. We don't hear what they say, but we hear suddenly an animal shriek, and she has some kind of a weird attack convulsion, and is screaming to trying to Lady Sybil to warn her, and then that's cut off, and she is completely paralyzed, completely speechless now. Her eyes rolled up. She has a awful, inhuman look of terror on her face as she's wheeled out, and her daughter, who is very kind of cold in her aspect, says, oh, she's probably going to be like that for the rest of her life, and she's probably going to live that way for a long time. And Lucio talks to a Tempest about this, and says like, oh, I was telling him, because she's 50, like she's nearly 50 now, so she's like really old. Says the guy who's like 50 plus, but she's really old. But in her early days, she was very rapid, including sleeping with some guy to get Lord Elton's turf debts paid off. And she's like, oh, and you know, Tempest is like, ever the little moralist is like, oh, how horrible, how terrible. It's like, oh no, the upper set, they do that stuff all the time. But yes, she was a very rapid lady, and indeed, how she is now is basically a punishment on how loose and lax her morals were, how wild of a life she led before. It's very much picture of Dorian Gray, kind of like things will catch up and it will show on you. That's really kind of that nasty kind of like, you will be punished for your sins kind of, you know, what is considered sins in a Christian sense, you will be punished for, seems to be the morality lesson that's getting shoved down our throats here. And it's like, you know, well, you look wonderful and nice, and I know you're kind of a wild and crazy guy yourself. It's like, yeah, maybe just a little foolish, and you know, foolish in wisdom and all that. And we have yet another thing of him talking about looking up at a star and like, oh, that's one of those stars that's got an evil thing. Like, you know, maybe damned souls go to there for hell, or maybe it's a training school for angels. Who can say? Who can say? It's like, well, it's probably then it's a damned hell, icy hell where souls go. He has very strange ideas about souls. But we end the evening, but Lucio's like, says like, oh, I will, you know, you're obviously in love with Lady Sybil, and I'll do everything in my power to make sure that you get to marry her. And he, you know, Tempest is yet again very grateful, not saying particularly any problems with Lucio. You know, it's like, oh, he's kind of scary. Oh, but he's a good friend. Oh, he's kind of scary, but I'm sure he didn't mean that. Oh, you know, we keep on getting that from Tempest. Tempest is very eager to fool himself into what's going on with his bosom pal here, who is obviously evil as fuck, and has caused Lady Elton to have her convulsions and to be paralyzed and tortured for the rest of her life in agony. It's like, yeah, such a great guy. All right, that is The Srrws of Satan, chapter 14. We'll continue on from there.